Hello, everyone. Glad to see you back here at Silver Tears Tarot. And of course, a warm welcome to my new folks. So, this is going to be one of the Soulmate Snapshot readings. And so, these are not necessarily as long as the usual readings. I usually come in here with just one kind of burning question. And in this case, the burning question is going to be about the secrets that we talked about in a previous reading. And it was, are these secrets going to come out, and kind of what's the effect that it's going to have on the situation and on your person. I'm reading for this general collective, and it's not going to resonate with everybody. And as I'm usually going to tell you, it's not supposed to. If it's your story, though, you want to maybe check out some of the other videos, and you may want to subscribe, because all of the readings are very much connected. So again, we're referencing a reading from a little while back. It was what kind of secrets are out there, and we found out that your person definitely had some secrets that they were sitting on, definitely some things that they were holding on to. And at this point, someone has asked if those secrets are ever going to come out, if that's what's going to happen there. And so I want to take it a step further and say, not just are they going to come out, but what effect is it going to have? Because either it's going to be secrets not coming out and they're holding on to it, and there's going to be an impact from that, or secrets that are coming out, and there's going to be an impact from that. So we'll take a look there. But we're going to start with whether or not the secrets are going to come out, and if so, what that's going to look like. This is this is definitely a very specific follow up. I get a lot of letters from people. You guys talk a little bit about your situation sometimes, and just kind of talk about what's happening with it. And there is, okay, so we've got two cards that want to come out with this. But a lot of times when you guys do that, you also bring with you a question that's been bugging you. And so after we had the last reading about, and it wasn't the very last reading, it was just another reading about whether there were secrets. One of you came back and asked if those secrets would be coming out. So I can see that there's definitely going to be a decision that your person has to make about it. It's a judgment they have to make about the secret, and about their place in it, their role in it, because they have to determine if they're going to be able to be happy, um, how what's going to make them happy. So this is the call card, which is like the judgment card in the traditional tarot, and this is the 10 of earth. So their health, their happiness, their kind of their livelihood, as a person, rides on this. That's a very powerful sort of feeling. So they have a decision to make, and it has something to do with these secrets. Secrets are coming out. The moon is in the reverse. The secrets are coming out, and it's going to cause a lot of, with the Six of Cups, a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia about what's happened in the past, and it's going to bring up some old pain. That's what we have here in the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a painful ending, but what this brings up is more the memories around that. And so they're going to have memory of the old pain, but they're also going to have some incredibly positive, nostalgic memories that go with that. And so it's going to be interesting because it's going to be hitting them at a different stage of emotional development, I guess, than they were in when the ending occurred. So even if it's only been a few days, a lot has happened. And so and in some cases, it's been years. And so a lot has happened, a lot of judgment, a lot of development. So when they hit this stage of development and judgment, it's not necessarily, when the secrets come out, it's very different from what it would have been before the change started happening. So there's a very slow process of change, I guess, that I would say here. But it is a steady process, one that gets you to the place where you need to go ultimately. And there's this emotional independence that is already growing, honestly, in both of you, that's going to help with the situation. So, whether this secret involves, no matter how it involves you, the fact that both of you are starting to move through your healing means you're pretty different people than you were when the ending between the two of you happened, or when the things started to really change between you. So here again, we're seeing the judgment card just reinforcing for us that there is a need for your person to really reevaluate things when the secret starts to emerge. So yeah, the secret's coming out. You guys are going to be pretty different people by then, whether it's next week or whether it's a year from now. But you also are going to have some decisions to make. It's going to bring up some old things, but you're going to have some very different perspectives on those old things. The Knight of Wands sitting here in reverse, though, tells me these secrets coming out doesn't necessarily work in your favor as far as getting your person to act in a more consistent manner. If anything, it causes them to be even more in and out with their emotions. So they're going to have a little bit of a, if time has gone by and things have started to even out, this is going to give them a little bit of a kind of a flashback to that situation. So that's, yes, the secrets are going to come out. So now we'll take a look at the effect that it's going to have, the effect of these secrets coming out, the effect of new information becoming available, um, maybe to other people. It depends on, a secret can come out to one person or it can come out to a whole world full of people. And depending on what it is, it may have some pretty different impacts. But we see here that the person that both of you are different people by the time the secret comes out, to the point where the impact might be pretty different from the way that it would have been, now. If it were to come out, maybe not even now, maybe at the time that the ending occurred, like what we're seeing there, the time that things really started to change between the two of you. Okay, so that effect, we've got the Four of Air, which is like the Four of Swords. And so we've already seen a little bit of evidence of this. The Four of Air is about healing, it's about rest and rejuvenation and an opportunity for healing. But when it's in the reverse like this, it's telling us that healing isn't really done, which we can tell because it takes you back to the time of the ending, it takes you back to the time of things becoming challenging. And it takes you back to a situation where you're seeing those nostalgic memories again, but from a different perspective almost, because of the change that has happened to the people. So there is a sense of the emotions kind of starting to come back, and that's one of the impacts of this secret coming out. It does look like it's going to be for more than just your person, though. It's going to be also for you. It's going to bring some of this back, because not just because you're probably going to be impacted by the energy of it, but also because you may actually be involved in the secret itself. So we've got the Empress card that's coming out here, which suggests that you are actually going to be in a better position to handle this when the secret comes out. And honestly, even though your person may not feel it immediately, so will they. There is this feeling of equal give and take and a lot of positivity in the emotion between the two of you. But also, not necessarily. Remember how I said you guys were going to be pretty different people by the time that it came out? Like, you're going to be capable of moving forward, but you might not necessarily feel inclined to do so. By the time that this happens, you may say, I'm actually I'm looking at something different now. I am motivated by other things. I am no longer being motivated by whatever is happening with this secret. And yet, the capacity, it's going to bring some things back for you anyway, even if it's not specifically around your person, it's going to be around your life and it's going to unlock some things for you. Same thing happens with your person as far as unlocking it, but it all has to do with um, okay, these two cards. So the Seven of Swords is about that self trust and your level of self trust, your person's level of self trust. This is going to have everything to do with the way that these secrets get managed when they come out. Then we also have the Ace of Swords, which is that new truth that isn't so new anymore. I'm not convinced it was super new when it was coming to you before, but it's been truth that has been coming to you and your person that you've both been working to kind of work into your worldviews. And the success that you've had with this is going to have a lot to do with how much self-trust the two of you have built up and how much you're truly unlocking the achievement of being able to move forward when this secret comes out. So once again, we're being told that your healing is relevant to the situation. There may be, we keep seeing this feeling of not feeling like you've set things in motion, feeling like too much time has passed, or there may be concerns about that on your person's side. That may keep them quiet and from reaching out. But it doesn't necessarily mean they can't jump more deeply into their healing. And same goes for you. If you find yourself feeling like You're not ready to jump into communication with somebody, something, maybe even communication with your person, because you're still very much working around those self-trust and that healing. Go on with it. Go ahead and continue working with the healing, because it's something that you do need to do within yourself. But we see that, yes, the secrets are going to come out, and it's going to have an effect of essentially bringing out those pieces where the healing has not yet occurred. So, I want to look at where you can be focusing. I love to ask this question and just kind of understand what it is that, in light of the rest of the things that we've seen here, what can you be doing? What can you be doing in your focus on your healing right now? Because you know that this is going to pull out examples of places where the healing hasn't quite occurred. So maybe you can identify um, what you could be starting on, where you can pull up the corner on it, because that's always kind of, even if you're in the process of healing, you'll be so focused on some element of it that when you get to a place with that where you feel like you're ready to move to something new, it's not always evident where you want to move next. So this is going to be something that you can be focusing on in the near term, that kind of, practically speaking, will help you to move through overall the emotions that come with this. So we've got the Magician card that has come up in the reverse. And so this is a card of it's a card of manifestation, but it's a card of feeling. It's a perception. Okay, so this is perception of being able to manifest, and it's about not necessarily changing your perceptions, but questioning them. So when you see, hey, I'm not prepared to do this, is that true, or is there some other reason, some other fear, something that may be keeping you from being able to manifest that? So that's definitely something that we want to look at here. Ooh, we've got that Queen of Cups. Okay, you guys have some good stuff to start working on. Start again, question what you think you know. Question what you think you know, because you're going to be put up against a decision that really makes you question things. And when this comes out, when this truth comes out, you're going to have some truths that you need to determine within yourself. Some decisions. There won't be a wrong answer. The Fool in reverse comes out again to kind of remind you that you don't want to jump into just everything. Be somewhat discerning about how you spend your energy, but again, no wrong answers. You can be decide that you're going to go through the cycle again with your person. You can decide that you're not going to go through the cycle again. You can decide that you want to be healed enough, and you're going to jump deeply into this healing so that you'll be able to move on. You'll be able to handle the decision in this crossroads when you get to it. This one actually depicts a crossroads, and that is part of what I'm feeling in here. So there's always that Two of Swords sort of potential feeling with it's a this or that sort of thing, but this is like paths that diverge. You have the Queen of Cups that's coming here, and again with the Four of Swords. So what this tells you is that with the Queen of Cups, this is about emotion, but it's about emotion that's kind of gone awry a little bit, because it's emotion that doesn't necessarily, it's not completely, um, it's not under control. You don't have that Nine of Pentacles kind of feeling along with it. You don't have that feeling of having all of your ducks in a row and everything organized. Instead, it's that kind of frantic love where you're either running to or running away from. It's often associated with codependency, so look that up and look for that in yourself. Also, this need for additional healing. So, realizing that even if you're feeling a lot better about things, there's still some healing needs to happen here, and you're going to become a lot more aware of it. Look for it to be something that is associated with your livelihood or your overall happiness. So it's global, but it's not necessarily earth shattering. So I know I wanted to clarify that it may not necessarily be earth shattering, because when you look at something and you see that it feels like it may be relatively global, just understand this is more of a small nuance that has to be adjusted rather than a huge earth shattering change that you have to make. But it is going to reduce some anxiety. And it's going to be directly associated with your healing. That most of the time things are very gradual. This is going to feel like a switch that gets flipped. So this is positive, but it's things that you absolutely have to look for as you're working through this. And I think we want another card in here. I just go until it tells me to stop laying cards down, and sometimes that's quick and sometimes it's not so quick. But I think we want at least one more here. Okay, so we have the Magician here in reverse again, and the Four of Coins that wants to come out. So what these are telling us is this is again okay, so it's similar to the message that came out here, only this is much more about magnetizing and attracting your abundance. So the more that you feel like you've got this perception that you can't maintain and attract and manifest, the more it's going to elude you. Also, the more you hold on to something, the more it's going to slip away. So that is absolutely part of the message that wants to come out here for what you can be focusing on. So it's letting go, finding the places that you need to heal, allowing them to attract to you, and recognizing that the more you fight this feeling of not being able to accomplish, the more you're going to not be able to accomplish. And yet there's this feeling of almost there it's amazing because it's a feeling of almost codependence, and you're going to be able to see it clear as day when you go to decide making your decisions. If you are truly looking objectively at your situation, you're going to be able to see that feeling of the edges of the emotions clear as day, and that's going to give you an idea of where to pull up the corner and start working. So that is where I'm going to leave it for this soulmate snapshot. But in answer to the question, yes, those secrets are going to come out. It's going to point both of you at the places that you've not necessarily mastered all of your healing. Here are some places for you to start as you start looking into your healing and thinking about, in light of this, how what can you be focusing on to help make things a little better. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, like I said, and I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow with a more formal reading.